7 things I wish every UC and Crohn's patient knew about their gut. If you have ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease and you've been doing everything, diets, the cleanses, the supplements, the medications, and the flares still keep coming back, I need you to hear something. It is not because your gut is broken, and it is not because you haven't tried hard enough. Trust me, the people who have found me have tried so hard. They have tried spreadsheets, like food journals, everything the internet told them to try. The reason it keeps coming back is that no one ever told you the 7 things I'm about to share with you today. Nobody sat you down and explained your unique gut type, your digestive fire, and why the food and lifestyle that works for somebody else might be the very thing keeping you stuck. And once you understand these 7 things, honestly, the whole picture of why nothing has worked finally will make sense. These are not little tips or tricks, okay? These are foundational shifts, the things that once my patients really get them, everything starts to change. And by the end of this video, you will find what actually moves the needle when it comes to calming your gut. Because here is what life looks like right now for you. You're planning the entire day around the bathroom, you're scared of food, where food is supposed to be the thing that nourishes you, is becoming the thing that you're afraid of. And your doctor keeps changing your biologic or medication, you're jumping from one to another. And the word surgery has just popped up. And the worst part isn't even the symptoms. You're thinking, is this as good as it gets, or am I just stuck? Hi, I'm Vanashree. I'm an Ayurvedic doctor. I have a degree called BAMS, Bachelor's of Ayurvedic Medicine and Surgery, and I'm trained in Ayurvedic pulse diagnosis. I've been practicing for the last 13 years, and I come from a family of physicians and Ayurvedic doctors. I do not say Western medicine is all bad. It has its own place, and it's great at saving life. But what I keep hearing is something that is being missed over and over again. Before we go further, I want to say something clearly. Nothing in this video is medical advice, so please do not change or stop your treatment with the doctor. The Ayurveda always goes alongside medical care. So let me walk you through the 7 things. Thing 1, your gut isn't broken. The first thing I wish every person with UC or Crohn's knew this. Your gut is not broken, it is just out of balance, and those are 2 completely different things. Broken means something that is destroyed, finished, or beyond repair. That is the word my patients use all the time to explain. Vanashree, I think I'm just broken. And honestly, every time I hear it, my heart just sinks a little bit. But out of balance is a little different. It means that your gut is being pushed in a wrong direction. And whatever is out of balance can be brought back to balance. You don't have to live with a broken gut. You have a gut that has just been out of balance for a long time. In Ayurveda, we do not actually use the word healing very much. I know that is a strange thing coming from a gut healing channel, but we say we bring you back to balance, which is your natural state of balance that you're born with. Your job and my job is to not force it, is to remove what is in its way so that your body can naturally heal. Think about a garden for a second. If the plant is wilting, you do not stand and yell at the plant, right? You check the soil, the water, how much sun it's getting. The plant was never the problem in the first case. The conditions were. Your gut is exactly the same. It is not like a broken plant. It's just that it has not been provided the right conditions. So I want you to stop asking what is wrong with me. Instead, start asking what is out of balance and what has been keeping it that way. That single change in the question is where everything begins. Thing 2. There is not just one type of ulcerative colitis or Crohn's. This is not just one type. And this is probably the single biggest reason the diets you tried did not work for you. In Ayurveda, the same disease can show up in very different ways in different people, depending on which energy, that is functional principle or dosha, is driving it. One person's colitis runs hot, where you get burning, urgency, inflammation, irritability, while another person's could be running more cold and irregular, meaning bloating, cramping, alternating constipation, looseness in the stools. Same diagnosis on the paper, but completely different explanation. 2 people can have exact same diagnosis, exact same healthy diet, same disease, but opposite result, because it was never the same condition underneath. This is a conversation I have almost with every new patient. They say, Vanashree, I did everything right. I followed anti-inflammatory diet, the protocol that my friend did, and it completely healed her, but it made me worse. It's like, if you go to the pharmacist and you have a headache, right? One headache is from dehydration, while other is from high blood pressure, right? And then you're given the same medication. How is that going to cure your headache? That does not make sense, right? But this is what happens with UC and Crohn's. They're handed the same diet sheet, same symptoms on the surface, but different causes underneath the surface, right? So when you flare, I want you to ask, does it feel hot, burning with urgency, or a lot of inflammation in the gut? Or it feels more cold, crampy, bloating, irregular? Are there foods that are supposed to be super healthy, like salads, raw vegetables, smoothies, are making you worse? And when you're stressed or anxious, does your gut like almost immediately react? Whatever your gut type is, you should be eating that for your gut type, and your program should be specifically designed for you. Which brings me to the third thing. Real quick, if this is already making sense and something is clicking for you, do me a favor and please subscribe. Third thing I wish everyone knew is your digestive fire, we call as Agni in Ayurveda, which means your body's ability to actually break food down, take what it needs and let go of the rest. And here is the part no one tells you. When that fire is not working right, it's not doing the thing that it's supposed to do, you can eat the cleanest, most beautiful anti-inflammatory diet, but it will not nourish you because it gets converted into something we call as ama, which is this sticky residue due to the inflammation in UC and Crohn's. It's not just about what you eat, it's actually what your body can digest, right? Or what is triggering that inflammation in the gut. This is why so many of my patients are doing everything right and they're still flaring. And they really cannot understand because they're eating like salads, raw food, smoothies, everything healthy. But a weak digestive fire cannot digest raw food completely and it sits and ferments in the gut. Picture a fire under a pot. If the flame that you put the fire on the pot is very, very weak, but it will not nourish you because it gets converted into something we call as ama, which is this sticky residue due to the inflammation in UC and Crohn's. It's not just about what you eat, it's actually what your body can digest or what is triggering that inflammation in the gut. This is why so many of my patients are doing everything right and they're still flaring. And they really cannot understand because they're eating like salads, raw food, smoothies, everything healthy. But a weak digestive fire cannot digest raw food completely and it sits and ferments in the gut. Picture a fire under a pot. If the flame that you put the fire on the pot is very, very weak, it will not be able to digest it completely. So no matter how much the pot is great, the fire is just going to keep being imbalanced and erratic. So the question is not just about what you eat. When you start asking, what is my gut doing and where is the root cause, is then what makes complete sense. Thing 4, most advice treats the symptom and not the root cause. Almost all the advice that you have been given for UC and Crohn's is aimed at your symptom and not the root, meaning you have diarrhea, okay, let's see how to fix the diarrhea. You have inflammation, let's see how to fix the inflammation. You have an overactive immune system, let's put you on immunosuppressant. But if the root cause is weak and erratic digestive fire and that was never assessed, years of wrong food for your body type or gut type can keep you stuck. And also the nervous system staying under stress all the time. You cannot supplement your way out of a problem that diet, fire, and stress created in the first place. The bottle was never gonna fix it. My patients come to me with a cabinet, a literal cabinet full of supplements, probiotics, turmeric, the expensive ones, the refrigerated ones, probiotics and all sorts of stuff. You can pour whatever you want on the root cause, it's not gonna hold it because the fire itself is weak. So stop chasing the next supplement. Stop blaming yourself for surface level fixes that do not work. Instead, I want you to get curious about your root. What is your gut type? What is your fire doing? What does stress do to your gut? These questions point at the actual problem. That problem is the only problem worth solving. So now that brings me to thing number 5 is your nervous system runs your gut. The 5th thing which means your nervous system and your gut are not two separate things. They are in constant conversation, and this is what we call as the gut-brain axis. When you are in chronic stress and you're living with a disease that has its own kind of chronic stress, you're constantly thinking when you'll be flared up, where is the nearest bathroom. So your digestion just gets shut down and the gut gets more reactive and the flares keep getting worse. You could be eating perfectly, but whatever is fueling that fire is not going to help because we're not fixing the fire. You're always stuck in the survival mode. I want you to go to the listening mode of your body. I cannot tell you how many patients tell me their worst flares came right after a most stressful season of their life. A move, a divorce, change in the job, a work stress, because the nervous system says we are not safe right now. So your gut also thinks the same. Think about how you feel when you're about to speak in front of a crowd. Something in your stomach drops. The nervous system really sparks in seconds. Now imagine that signal turned on quietly for months or for years. And this is what I see a lot of people with UC and Crohn's deal with. So calming the nervous system is not optional, it is a necessity. And that connects directly to the sixth thing. The difference between the people who get stuck for years and people whose guts finally settle. A protocol that is not matched to you will almost fail you eventually. Not because it is a bad protocol, but because it was never yours. It wasn't customized for you. This is the heart of everything that I do. UC and Crohn's are not the problems you solve in one universal answer, because there is no universal gut. Every gut has its own pattern. Every gut has its own type, stress pattern. And what was not built for your body is not yours. You're not stuck because your gut is broken. You're stuck that no one has ever matched the food for your gut type and your body type. When I finally sit down with a patient and we actually really look at their constitution and their fire and their life, almost every single one of them has the same reaction. They go quiet and they say some version of this is why it keeps happening to me specifically. The moment this whole thing that was always missing sparks something. Think about a tailored suit versus something you buy off the rack. A tailored one is made for measurements for you, and you forgot you were wearing it. Every generic gut protocol is off the rack. Your body has been trying to wear someone else's suit and wondering why nothing feels right. Which brings me to the seventh and the most important thing of all. The conditions need to change, not you. That means the gut, whatever conditions your gut is in, that needs to change, not you. You are never the broken part. The conditions around your gut need to change, and that is something you actually have power over. When your fire is rebuilt, when the food finally matches your type, your nervous system gets come out of survival mode. When the lifestyle is built around your body, the inflammation goes down because the environment finally became one of your gut, where the gut could be well in. So stop trying to fix yourself. You were never the problem. It was the conditions that your gut was put into. So go back to the wilting plant one more time. You can change the soil. You got the water right. You moved into the light. And one morning, there is a new green shoot. And you did not force that. You just stopped fighting it and gave it what it actually needed. You are not different from that. I've watched it happen in my office hundreds of times. So here is what I want you to actually do tonight. Not a whole overall, one thing. Take out your phone, a piece of paper, and write one sentence. Every diet and protocol I've tried has this in common, and finish it, honestly. Here is the answer most people land once or more than that. None of them asked about my fire. None of them asked about what my body type is. It was a map for someone else. Then write down just one thing you never actually looked at, like your gut type, your digestive fire. Because the moment you can name what is missing, you're not stuck anymore. You finally know where to look at, and this is the beginning. These 7 things took me years of practice and hundreds of patients to really understand. So please do not feel behind for not knowing them until now, because nobody told you. That was never your fault, dear. But here is what I want you to walk away with. You're not broken. You're not a hopeless case. You're not someone who just has to accept this forever. You're a person whose gut has been out of balance, responding exactly the way it was designed to. And the moment that changes, alongside your medical care, never instead of it, things can really start to shift. Now in the next video, I'm going to answer something I get asked constantly. Why you can be on Humira, Remicade, biologic after biologic. What is actually happening there is what is not being told to you. So click right here and I'll see you there. Thanks for watching.